The Upanishad that we are going to study is the Kaivalya Upanishad. What is the meaning of Upanishad? Upanishad means Brahma Vidya, the supreme knowledge of the self. And the valid means of knowing the self is what we call as Upanishad. Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. The valid means of knowing the self is the knowledge of the Upanishads. Why is the Upanishad the valid means of knowing the self? Because the self is not available for any other modes of perception. Gurudev in the BMI chart used to say, with the body we perceive the object, with the mind we feel the emotions, with the intellect we think the thoughts. So for objects, emotions and thoughts, the means to perceive them are body, mind, intellect. If body is not there, we can't perceive the objects. Mind is not there, we can't feel. Intellect is not there, we can't think. And Gurudev used to joke, check, do you have all the three? Or anyone is missing? Check properly. So these are valid means to know about the world. Or even about I, the individuality, the perceiver, feeler and thinker. To know about this Mr. So-and-so, body, mind, intellect is required. But to know the self, this BMI will not work. Identification with the BMI is how we have forgotten who we are. So it is the only way to realize is this tyag, is renunciation. Attachment to the BMI, the body identification has to go. So that's why sannyasa yoga. Sannyasa and yoga. Sannyasa means detach, yoga means attach. So detach from this and attach to this. How will I detach from this and attach to this? That is the knowledge of the Upanishad. Upanishad will help us to detach from the BMI by giving us proper understanding of why we are not the BMI, how we are the Om, what is the nature of that Om, what is our experience when we realize that Om, how to realize that Om. The whole science of spiritual knowledge, self-realization is the Upanishads. So for us, the only means to realize the truth is this intuitive knowledge of the self, which transcends the buddhi also. And that's why Upanishad is not a book. It is Brahma Vidya. Upa means near. Ni means with great determination. Nishtha, with great determination. One meaning it is. And simple meaning of sad is to sit. So sitting with firm determination below. Ni also means below. So sitting at the feet of a teacher with firm determination to know the truth is the attitude of the student, but the truth which is revealed to that student who is sitting at the feet of the teacher with all humility, intensity, eagerness to know that truth, that knowledge which is revealed is actually the Upanishad. That's why in the Kathopanishad Bhashya, Shankaracharya ji says Upanishad is Brahma Vidya, it is not the Grantha alone. Book is also there. That is the secondary meaning of the word Upanishad. Primary meaning is it is Brahma Vidya. And the Brahma Vidya is not from the lips to the ears. It is from the heart to the heart. And that's why only the student who is tuned will get this knowledge of the Upanishad. All the sadhanas are to prepare the mind for this experience of intuitive realization of the self. It is not that any other means will lead us to that. They are preparatory means. Karma yoga, etc. Preparatory means. And they are necessary. Without that, anyway, the tuning doesn't happen, we will not realize. But they by themselves will not lead. So the knowledge which we gain intuitively, how will that intuitive knowledge arise? Through listening. When we listen with our ears, with the mind which is single pointed, with an intellect which is having the burning desire to know the truth, that is the alignment of the BMI, then we have to reflect on it, it will rise. It is a subjective, intuitive knowledge. And that's why Upanishad is not in words, it is not in the books. Some of you have studied Mundaka Upanishad. In that there are two divisions. Dve vidye veditavye. Paravidya, aparavidya. In that aparavidya is everything. All the four Vedas, Vedangas and the Upavedas, all that is aparavidya, lower knowledge. Why? Because it is verbal knowledge. Yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. That is the definition of paravidya. So when we listen to the truth, if the mind is pure, it will realize instantly. No reflection required, no contemplation required. But if the mind is not pure, then reflection required, contemplation required. Then through that contemplation, steady contemplation, the intuitive knowledge that rises, that is called Upanishad. And that's why we need to come at the feet of the teacher to experience that. It is not available only through reading books. What the presence of a teacher can do in a second, in a moment, in a glance, in a touch, millions of lives of study also will not be able to do that. So that is the power of the Sadguru, the realized master. And the Sadguru is anyway not the form. The Sadguru is always the Tattva. So when we invoke, then it happens. Gurudev always used to say that Upanishad is a dialogue between your higher intellect and the lower mind. The higher intellect is the Guru, lower mind is the disciple. That purified intellect becomes the Guru. And the Guru Tattva will manifest through that purified intellect also. The voice of the Guru one will hear it within. So that is the knowledge of the Upanishads. In Kathopanishad, Shankaracharya ji gives three beautiful meanings of the word Sad. So one meaning he says that Sad means that which will speed up our evolution. Gati. Biologically we have come to the best life. Human life is the best life. But spiritually, we have to evolve from here. And human life is the best opportunity for that spiritual evolution. So, that which speeds up our evolution means what? After human, what will I become? Oh Swamiji, I can become Devata. Gandharva, I heard about a lot of Gandharvas. Yaksha, Kinnara, Apsara, Gandharva. Devalok I can go to. Svargalok. And there are 14 lokas, Swamiji. Lot to explore in this world. That is not the evolution Upanishad is talking about. From human to divine. That is the Upanishad. The evolution from finite to infinite. Nobody can evolve from finite to infinite. We are already infinite. We have forgotten that. So that is the destruction of the ignorance that Upanishad will do. So Brahma Gamayitritvat, that is the meaning of the Upanishad, the first word. Gati means to speed up the evolution. Second word is Avasadhan. Avasadhan means to loosen the bondage. Right now the bondage is very tight. Very strange. Suppose you wear a shoe which is less, one size less of your actual size. What will happen? It will pain, excruciating pain. Suppose you wear some pant or whatever, which is very, very tight, elastic is absolutely tight, then one can't breathe. Will one feel comfortable or uncomfortable? Absolutely uncomfortable. One wants to change immediately. Chalo, even if it is not tight, so many people sometimes, for wedding and all, we wear such heavy outfits and then jewelry and this and that. And then what we do, wedding over, come home and just remove. Can't wear this for long. Life after life, we are carrying on with bondage and we are not feeling only uncomfortable. How strange is that Maya? That bondage has become so, it is tight. Just imagine infinite is stuck in one BMI. How suffocating, painful it must be. But are we feeling that pain? That is not happening only. That knowledge which helps us even to experience that, what is the pain of samsara? Because in the world outside, does anybody tell us that there is pain in samsara? What does the world tell us? Enjoy maximum, eat maximum, drink maximum, travel maximum. Does anybody tell meditate maximum? Turn within maximum, realize the self? Nobody will tell. Happiness is outside, does anybody tell? Happiness is inside, anybody tells? Nobody tells. Even now, a lot of people will quote that. The good morning message on WhatsApp will also come nicely. But how much one will intensely seek that happiness inside? In samsara, it's very less. Because nobody wants to talk about that. Just look at the whole world. How much sorrow, conflict, violence, fights, vulgarity, abuse, what all goes on in samsara. But still, does one want liberation from that? One doesn't want. How strange is that? That's the power of Maya. So when we come to study the knowledge of the self, Uttam Adhikari will definitely get the supreme knowledge immediately, instantly. But others who are not yet there, Upanishad is so kind, compassionate to make us even aware what are the qualifications required. Kathopanishad, you see Nachiketa, what vairagya he has. 11-year-old boy. Stunning vairagya. So what is vairagya? That he can tell on the face of Lord Yamaraj that Tavaiva vaha tavanritya gite shvobhava martyasya yadanta kaitat sarvendriyanam jarayanti teja apis sarvam jivitam alpameva. You may give me long life, but it is nothing compared to eternity. Apis sarvam jivitam alpameva. So you keep your dance and music to yourself. Without blinking an eye, he tells Yamaraj, you keep your dance and music to yourself. That is vairagya. So Upanishad will teach us Vivek, Vairagya, Shakka Sampatti, Mumukshutvam, all that also. So it will loosen the bondage. Make us realize the pain of bondage, then give us these qualities. Vishwajit sacrifice the father was doing. How much he was holding on for himself. Through that, Vairagya, Vivek, all that is taught. So that knowledge which loosens our bondage is the knowledge of the Upanishads. It will speed up our journey to experience the self. And it will not only loosen the bondage, it will destroy the bondage. Third meaning of Gati, third meaning of Sad is Visharana, means Himsana, destroy. It will destroy the root cause of bondage once and for all, that we don't again fall back into the realm of ignorance. Otherwise, if the bondage becomes loose, we feel nice after some spiritual practices, then a different ego rises. This ego which was of materialistic things, now it has the ego of spiritual things. Bondage has got loosened a bit. One has understood what is bondage, what is raga, what is dvesha, so many things one understood. Then one studied the scripture also, cultivated some qualities also. But till that ignorance is not destroyed, the chances are we may fall back again and again. And the trick that our mind plays is terrible. The more tapasya we do, the more it justifies indulgence. That is the problem with the mind. And that's why this ignorance has to be destroyed from the root. Otherwise we will not realize and be steadfast in that realization. Atmanishtha will not happen. Upanishad makes us abide in the self. Which means what? From the beginning of the journey till we reach the destination, full path, Upanishad knowledge is with us till we reach the destination. Not that we are left somewhere in between. After sales service, people do. They promote it. If you buy this fridge, 10 years service, 10 years warranty, whatever. Upanishad, till realization, service is there. So, Gati, Visharana, Avasadana, these are three meanings of Upanishad. And what is the meaning of Kaivalya? Kaivalya. Kaivalya means, the place where we do yoga, Swamiji. Kaivalya Dham Yoga Institute, it is yoga. First of all, it is not yoga, it is yoga. It is not Chinmaya, it is Chinmaya. When we write in English, then our pronunciation also becomes like that. It is not Rama, it is Ram. So what is Kaivalya Upanishad? Kaivalya means Kevalasya Bhava, aloneness. That which is alone, where there is no duality. That state of Kaivalya it is. Or it is also called moksha. The state of infinite consciousness realization is Kaivalya. Even in Jain Dharma they have the word Kaivalya Mukti, they say. The seeker will attain Kaivalya Mukti. Tirthankar will attain Kaivalya Mukti. So Kevalasya Bhava. So it's not a state of blankness. When we transcend the ego, what is it? Is it zero? Is it blank? Is it thoughtless? No. It is Kaivalya, one absolute truth. More of it we will see as we go along in the Upanishad. But Kaivalya Upanishad is very nice because our main problem is loneliness. We are lonely all the time. Why? Because ego works like that. Ego lives in insecurity. So insecurity makes a person feel lonely. Then one wants to cling to some object, person, situation. Then if the heart breaks with one person, then we have to join somebody else. So it goes on. If no person, then some pet, some animal, plant, bird, something. We need something to cling. And life goes only in clinging. That knowledge which helps us to remain independent is the knowledge of the self. What is that state of aloneness where there is no insecurity at all, no fear at all, no feeling that I need someone to make myself complete. Popular notion for marriage is this. People say that marriage is so that I feel incomplete, the opposite person, my partner, completes me. Our Shastra doesn't say like that. It says walk the path of dharma to realize the self. Completeness comes from there. At certain context, one says a man and woman are like the two wheels of the chariot, and both wheels are required for the chariot of life to go on. At one level, it is said, there is no doubt. But what is the deeper vision? That both will walk the path of dharma, supporting each other to come to experience the Kaivalya Sthiti. That is the purpose. To get Vairagya, to come to Kaivalya Sthiti is the purpose of marriage. Oh Swamiji, that's why I got marriage, I tell you. You don't know Swamiji because you didn't get married. But you ask us, enough we know about it. Then why you want to come here? No, that we cannot do. I mean, reasons are there, no doubt. But the point is, the job of the purpose of Grihasthashram is Vairagya only. That's why it is followed by what? Vanaprastha and Sannyas. And our culture actually says you should die as a sannyasi. Meaning one who has lived a full life. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Full life, experience the self, Kaivalya Sthiti. Then the purpose of human life is served. So that Upanishad, which will speak about what is this Kevala Bhav, what is the nature of this self which is Keval, that is this Kaivalya Upanishad. For today I will stop here. Just a few announcements before we will conclude. In your kit, there is a small book called Sandipani Aradhana. So whenever we have any of these pujas or arati or rituals, please carry that book. Like Hanuman Chalisa, tomorrow we will chant. Ram Mandir Aarti is also there, Gurudev's Aarti is there. So in the evening, the Narayana Suktam is chanted, in the morning, Purusha Suktam is chanted. Today they chanted the Chinmaya Mahima Stotram, that is not there in the book. Mukeshji, if you can request Monaji to take some printout, Xerox and give it to all of us. I don't know whether they chant in the mornings, but evenings they generally chant. Morning they have something else to chant, I think. No, Purusha Suktam they chant, Guru Stotram they chant, that I know.
Today they chanted 108 names of Gurudev. This
Ashtatra Shatnam. Okay. So carry that book with you for most of the chanting sessions. Tomorrow we have the Aarti. So 5:50 the Aarti will start. What is it starting at 5:50 proper?
Yes.
Right.
Means they start with the chanting and everything and then
Pujari comes at 6.
5.
Yeah. Please take bath and come. Don't do prokshan and say apra pavitra pavitra sarvavasthan gato. Proper bath and then come. Then you have the tea and then silence and solitude. Then come here 7 to 7:30 for the meditation. Come here and settle down 5 minutes before, then we will start. Half an hour we do meditation. Then the morning walk, tomorrow is not there. Tomorrow, because it's Tuesday, we will do the Hanumanji's chanting. 7 times chanting we will do. And then Vadamala Puja also will happen. Some of you have written, some of you have become Yajmans. If anybody still wants to become, please contact Meghnaji. Then breakfast we have. Then again we meet here, Kaivalya Upanishad class. 11 to 12:20 we will go for the walk in the woods tomorrow. Because morning walk is not there, we will go. Hopefully it doesn't rain, then we will go into the woods. Just an informal walk. Spend some nice time with nature, do some informal satsang, and then we come back. So, if you have a bag or something, then you please carry one umbrella always with you in that bag. Anytime it will rain, anywhere. If you have water bottle, put all that. So carry one small bag which can have all this. Then evening we have again lunch, then rest, tea. Tomorrow evening we are seeing this movie. It will extend a little more because now brahmacharis are sitting with us. Otherwise I was going to split the movie session into 2. But so it will not be ending at 5:30. Tomorrow it will end at 5:50. So it's a 1 hour 50 minutes movie. So we will start 4 to 5:50 will be that movie, Peaceful Warrior. How many of you have seen that movie? Few of you have seen. It's okay, we can see again. Brahmacharis especially, they would have not have seen at all. And we can do a lot of discussion, nice things are there in that movie. So that will be tomorrow, then evening again Aarti and class here. Now before the morning class and evening class on the Upanishad, 5-10 minutes before, if you all can come sit here, assemble, you can start the chanting of Guru Stotram or Paduka Stotram, or in the Aradhana book, different stotrams which are there, you can chant. Whom have we put in charge for that? You can check that. So I have told a few things to Mukesh ji. He must have messaged on the group that these people come and meet me.
I have to take the discussion with them, each one separately, because
right, fine. So after the dinner tonight, you can meet Mukesh ji. You can inform now if you want to, who all you want to meet. So then they can meet you after
Then I
dinner.
already informed that one people who are assigned some kind of job. So accordingly, if they can meet one by one, I can.
So he had written 5-10 meet me. Those people on the group he has put the message. Those people just meet him. So that is about the schedule for tomorrow. After dinner we don't have anything. You are free. Tonight also, tomorrow also. You can take rest. Camp rules you must have read. Please follow all those rules. Especially please lock the rooms. And light, fan, everything off in the rooms. Some people are in charge of the venue also here. I've allotted. So the duties also I have written down and given. Once you are clear what role who has to play, the information will come to you. Then if you have any questions, you can come back to us and ask. So that is it for now. Any questions? Are you all settled, comfortable in your rooms? Any issues if you have in the room, then the number has been given. Monaji's number it is, right? You can inform. Morning after breakfast, that dhobi will come. So any clothes you want to give can be given at that time. He will not come any other time again. So ensure that you give.
So in case she doesn't pick up the phone, we have to WhatsApp her. So she'll answer.
Okay. So if Monaji doesn't pick up the phone, then WhatsApp her. Alright. So for today we'll stop.